One of the saddest parts of being a basketball fan is seeing your favorite stars start to decline in their play. But what if this never happened? Today, we're going to be putting former NBA stars back in their prime. I want to start this off with a quick roster overview so that you know who's back in their prime and what these teams are looking like as a result. Russell Westbrook is back at a 95 overall. The peak of his play, MVP Russ, playing alongside Kawhi Leonard and PG. The Memphis Grizzlies now have prime Derrick Rose, 95 overall, only 22 years old, playing alongside Ja Morant in the backcourt. And it looks like Ja stays the same overall, running the two guards, so that's how we'll have it in Memphis from now on. The Miami Heat got a couple big upgrades coming off the finals loss. Now they're going to have Kevin Love back in his prime, and Kyle Lowry is going to be at the peak of his play as well. The Charlotte Hornets see Gordon Hayward back up at an 88. It was tragic whenever he had that injury on opening night when it was Celtics versus Cavs. One of the saddest moments in recent NBA history. Ben Simmons is back. 86 overall Ben Simmons, 23 years old. I think we could see Ben get back to the way he was playing previously. I mean, he's been looking pretty good in preseason, I can't lie. The Denver Nuggets, DeAndre Jordan, he's back from Lob City. Now the Nuggets are going to have two great interior threats. Of course, one might be much better than the other. You're talking about a two-time MVP, but DJ can be a solid backup for this Denver team. The next upgrade we saw was Victor Oladipo going up to an 88 overall. It's tragic what's happened to Vic recently with all these injuries, because man, prior to injury, he was a dog. Him and LeBron were going toe-to-toe. Him and 2018 Bron were going toe-to-toe in the first round, so that's how good Victor Oladipo once was. Minnesota, they get their floor general Mike Conley back in his prime. He's always been solid, but back in the Memphis days, of course, he was a little bit better than he is now. Golden State, they see Chris Paul go up to a 97. So with Chris Paul only being 6 foot, he's probably going to run the 1, be the floor general. Steph's going to slide over to the 2. Clay will run the 3, and you're going to have this weird like small ball thing going on. Draymond at the 5. Wiggs can't play the 4? Okay, then maybe we'll keep Draymond at the 4 and Wiggs will have to come off the bench because I don't want Wiggs at an 80 overall. I feel like that'll hurt the Warriors more than it'll help them. So that's pretty much the roster breakdown. We've got a bunch of stars back in their prime. But there's one more thing I forgot to mention to y'all. We got a couple free agents back in their prime as well. DeMarcus Cousins, Blake Griffin, John Wall, and Kemba Walker. So I'm going to simulate a couple weeks, see where they sign, and that could really change the entire landscape of the league. Okay, so I simulated about 30 games into the season, turned off salary cap and everything, and only Blake Griffin has picked a team so far out of the guys I put into free agency. So you know what? I've got a plan. DeMarcus Cousins, he's going to go back to Sacramento. John Wall's going to go to Washington. And Kemba is going to go to Charlotte. Now that all of our free agents have jobs, I'll show you what their teams are looking like. Blake Griffin, he decided to join the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs absolutely stacked in the front court with Blake, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen. Then you look at the Charlotte Hornets. They've got Kemba Walker now playing alongside LaMelo Ball. I guess LaMelo can run the 2. I mean, he's pretty tall. He'll be all right. The Sacramento Kings got Boogie. So Sabonis, I guess he'll stay at the 5. Boogie will run the 4 because Sabonis is 7'1". And the Wizards, John Wall is back. Jordan Poole can slide over to the 2, and we'll have the Wall and Poole backcourt. That'll be a really exciting and fun backcourt to watch. With all that done, let's get to the postseason. We got all these stars back in their prime, and Kevin Love wins the MVP. Over 24 points per game, adding on 15 boards, 5 assists. Ridiculous stuff from K-Love. Victor Wembanyama wins Rookie of the Year. Man, am I excited to see Wemby's rookie year in real life. Blake Griffin, they had him coming off the bench for Evan Mobley, but it seems like that role worked. Over 21 points per game, about 11 rebounds per night. Giannis Antetokounmpo takes home the DPOY. B-Ball Paul, most improved. Also, real quick, if you're enjoying the video so far, I'd appreciate if you subscribe. Trying to hit 20K by the end of the year. It's a big goal, but with your all support, I think we can make it happen. Thanks for all y'all who have been tuning into the videos. Anyway, Jason Tatum wins Clutch Player of the Year, and Taylor Jenkins takes home Coach of the Year. On the All-NBA first team, we got a couple of our former stars who are back. Of course, the MVP Kevin Love is on there, and Russell Westbrook is here as well. He almost averaged that triple-double. The Brody is back. On the All-NBA second team, you got Chris Paul, who averaged over 24 points per game, added on 11 assists, shot the three ball efficiently, got a lot of steals. He was playing some great basketball. Derrick Rose. Derrick fell, but he rose. He's back. 26 points per game, just about 10 assists. Big season for D Rose. On the All-NBA third team, Benjamin. The Benjamin Revenge Tour, 24 points per game. You've never scored like that, Ben. He added on about 8 boards, 7 assists. Big season for Ben. Even shot a little over 27% from 3. I mean, he probably took he took 11 threes. But you know what? He was hooping this season. And of course, my glorious king makes the All-NBA third team as well. Russ and Chris Paul on the all-defensive first team. Lonzo makes the second team. Man, do I hope that Lonzo can get back out there on the basketball court. And Kevin Love is on the all-defensive second team as well. Now, checking out some of the top teams in the league this season, Miami, they were number 1 in the Eastern Conference with Kevin Love and Kyle Lowry back at the peak of their play. As for Kyle Lowry's season, he averaged about 19 points per game, added on about 8 assists per night. Big season for Lowry. Looking at the number 2 seed, you got Cleveland. They picked up Blake Griffin out of free agency, and he was doing big stuff. That was the 6th man of the year right there. The Philadelphia 76ers, nothing really changed for them, but they were still good. The Hawks were 4th because 2K loves them. The Knicks were 5th. I don't really know how. Chicago got the 6th seed. Boston was 7th. Man, this team is ridiculous. I don't know how they were the 7th seed. And the Hornets, they're a play-in team. You get Kemba Walker on the squad in his prime. Gordon Hayward hops back in. The time chamber goes back in his prime as well. And boom, look at that. You're a play-in team. The Toronto Raptors are 9th. And the Brooklyn Nets, led by Benjamin Simmons, were the 10th seed. Or maybe they were led by Mikal. Nah, Ben was doing his thing. He was hooping in Brooklyn. The Bucks don't even make it. The Pacers don't make it. Pistons were bad. Magic were bad. And the Wizards, John Wall, even Wall couldn't save this team. I mean, they're not great. They're probably trying to lose games anyway. The Western Conference, you got the Memphis Grizzlies coming in at number 1 with their backcourt of D Rose and Ja Morant. Man, the Derrick Rose career reverse vid, that was a fun one to make yesterday. The Lakers, they're just the Lakers, but they were good at basketball. The Nuggets, you get DeAndre Jordan as like a super 6th man for your team, and you get the 3 seed. The Warriors come in at 4th. Chris Paul and Steph running in the backcourt. You still got Clay, Draymond. Not surprising that this team was good. The Clippers come in at 5th with the Brody doing his thing. The New Orleans Pelicans are 6th. Portland Trail Blazers come in at 7th. That's actually pretty surprising. But they've got like a decent kind of well-rounded squad, so maybe it's not too surprising. They have Brogdon starting over Scoot. I couldn't see that happening in real life. 8th seed Boogie Cousins back in Sacramento playing alongside Domantas Sabonis. They make it as 8th. Minnesota Timberwolves come in at 9th with Mike Conley in his prime running the 1, averaging about 16 a game. I also want to take a look at what Boogie was doing. Only 19 and 11 boards. I mean, that's solid, but I thought Boogie might do a little bit more. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they see Victor Oladipo average about 18 per night. Again, I thought Vic might be a little bit nicer. The Rockets come in at 11th. Suns were bad because 2K hates the Suns. Mavs were bad. Utah ends up at 14th, and San Antonio was 15th. All right, now that we've looked at all of that, the last thing I want to check out is the league leaders this season. Did anybody come in back in their prime, come out of the time chamber, and just do some crazy stuff on the season? Well, it looks like Trae Young was hooping. He led the league in scoring this year. Nobody who was back in their prime was even in the top 10. No way y'all are letting Julius Randle outdo you. Derrick Rose was doing his thing this season. Chris Paul was kind of up there in the scoring. As for rebounds, maybe DeAndre Jordan grabbed some boards. Yeah, DeAndre and Kevin Love. DeAndre got 3 starts. I would assume they wouldn't start him over Jokic or anything, so maybe they had him and Jokic together in the front court or something. And for assists, I bet Chris Paul was number 1. Yeah, not too surprising. The Brody was up there as well. Derrick Rose finds himself in the top 10. Mike Conley rounds out the top 10. And I don't really care too much about field goal percentage. Checking out blocks, we don't really see anybody notable here. Steals, Chris Paul leads the league in steals. Russell Westbrook was up there as well. Now it's time to get the NBA playoffs started. In a league with a bunch of stars back in their prime, who will be crowned champion? In round number 1, we're just going to check if any series go 7. It looks like we do got a couple close ones that could potentially go there. We end up getting just one. It's between LA and Portland, and they don't really have anybody who's back as stars, so I'm just going to go ahead and press simulate game on this one, and Portland's going to upset the Lakers. That's kind of crazy. But now round 2 is set, so let's dive a little bit deeper into these matchups. You've got Memphis and the Clippers, a 1 versus 5 matchup here. Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook facing off. You've also got the Pelicans and Portland. Surprising to see the Blazers doing big things. They don't really have any of our star players here, but you know, an interesting series, I guess. We got the Miami Heat taking on the Atlanta Hawks. The Heat, I think, are considered the favorites in this video. You get 2 players back in their primes in Kyle Lowry and Kevin Love, and you've already got a good team, so that really helps for sure. I mean, they just made the finals this year. You've got the Cavs taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. The Cavs pick up Blake Griffin to come off their bench, and the Sixers, you know, they're the Sixers. Alright, let's get into these series, see if we get any Game 7s in round number 2. We've already got 2 series in the Western Conference tied up at 2 apiece. The Philadelphia 76ers might just take down the Cleveland Cavaliers here, but the Cavs are storming back. They were down 3-1, and they just forced 7. We've also got a Game 7 out west between New Orleans and Portland, but I want to check out this game between the Cavs and the Sixers. Can Blake Griffin help the Cavs move on to the conference finals here? Blake Griffin have 40 for the Cavs. Oh my goodness. They got a big Game 7 dub, and Blake led the way for the team. He's motivated to get a ring, and the Philadelphia 76ers go down. Conference finals are set. Prime Russ trying to make his way to the finals and win an NBA championship. And then we've got a face-off between Blake Griffin, Kyle Lowry, and Kevin Love in the Eastern Conference. Surprising to see Russ down 2-0 early against the Pelicans. I thought Russ would have this series on lock. They're going to go ahead and take a game, and the Clippers will tie this one up at 2 apiece. As for Miami, they're up 3-1 on Cleveland. Looks like they might get the job done pretty easily. The Heat will advance to the finals. Clippers are 1 win away from doing the same, and they will do it. Look at Russell Westbrook, about 24 points, 13 assists per night, and the efficiency wasn't great, but I mean, efficiency doesn't matter. Russ is doing great stuff, and Kevin Love wins the Eastern Conference MVP. That's the league MVP as well. And now our NBA Finals are set. Russell Westbrook and Paul George have a chance to get their first NBA championship against a stacked Miami Heat team. I want to hop in Simcast for Game 1 of this series because I want to see Russ go crazy. Game number 1 is already going to be close. Under 3 minutes to go, and it is a 2-point game. Miami Heat have the ball. They're going to inbound it to Tyler Hero over to Caleb Martin. They swing it to Bam Adebayo. Adebayo going to give it to Jimmy Butler. Butler over George, and George is going to grab the rebound. Let's see if Russell Westbrook can get a clutch bucket. No, they're going to go to Kawhi. Oh my goodness. He just hit a WWE move on Kawhi Leonard. Jeez, Caleb Martin, chill out. Kawhi's, of course, going to go to the free throw line. They might need to review that one. That looked like a technical foul. It's Kawhi Leonard, so I expect him to make both of these free throws. Foul shot number 1 is up and is good. Second one for Kawhi is also good. Clippers are up by 4 points here, but the Heat, they've got Jimmy, K-Love, Kyle Lowry, or Lowry's not on the floor right now. What type of pass was that? Kevin Love swings it to Caleb Martin. Martin gonna ball fake over to Tyler Hero. Hero over Russ, and he's gonna miss it. Terrence Mann snags the rebound. Still over 2 minutes to go. Russell Westbrook, beautiful pass down to Paul George. Paul George, the standing dunk, and he's flexing. Clippers are up by 6 here. Some great plays down the stretch of this game, but still plenty of time for the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler pull up mid-range. He's going to miss it, and Kawhi Leonard grabs the rebound. Clippers doing some great stuff in crunch time. Kawhi down to Russ, and boom! Clippers are up by 8. This game's starting to get out of control for the Miami Heat. They might need to call a timeout or something. They still got 4 timeouts left. Tyler Hero going to pass it down to K-Love, and Love's going to smoke the layup. Kawhi Leonard, some good defense there. Now Russell Russell Westbrook's pushing the ball. Russ defended by Hero. He's going to get the screen from Zubac. Russ, still plenty of time on the shot clock to make a play. He's going to pull the mid-range, and he misses it. The door is still open for Miami with a little over a minute to go. Hero over to Butler. Butler, we know he's a closing type of player. He can make clutch plays, but he's going to give it to Hero. Hero working on Russell Westbrook. Down to Kevin Love, the MVP of the league. Pump fake, pump fake. Another pump fake. He puts up the layup. He misses, grabs a rebound, and he's able to put it back. So finally, the Heat get a bucket. Still within 6 points here. Still plenty of time. A little under a minute to go. Russell Westbrook attacking Tyler Hero. He's going to get to the rim. He said he's too little. Come on, rock the baby, Russ. I wanted him to rock the baby because he just cooked Tyler Hero. Clippers are up by 8. Heat probably need a 3. Heat are going to go to Tyler Hero here. Hero going to get the screen from Jimmy Butler. Hero down to Kevin Love. Love just had a layup on the last play, but Kawhi gets him to go out of... Oh, no, it was a blocking foul. Oh, I thought Kawhi got him to go out of bounds, but the foul was called. And now the Heat might really have a chance here. They're going to be within 6 points. They don't have to foul just yet. They just got to play some solid defense down the stretch. Zubac's inbounding the ball. They're going to give it to Russ, and they will foul. Wow, I didn't expect that. It looks like the Heat are going to go for the intentional foul here, though. So Russell Westbrook free throws coming up for the Los Angeles Clippers. Oh, no, they're not going to foul now. Terrence Mann wide open. What are y'all doing? Yeah, this one might be wrapped up. This one's probably over with. I don't know what the Miami Heat were doing there in clutch time, but it was ugly. I'm not going to lie to you. And the Heat going to take the L in game 1, despite the Clippers, in my opinion, having a worse squad on paper. Russ, Kawhi, Paul George, they got the job done in game number 1. That was a fun one. I hope game 2 will be just like that. This series is going beautifully so far. Clippers up by 1 here, less than 2 minutes to go. Russell Westbrook working on Kyle Lowry, pump fake. Oh my goodness, Russ. Tell him he's too little. He rocked the baby. Russ hitting his emotes after the bucket. Jimmy Butler working on Norman Powell, and he's going to float one home. I can't get over that, bro. That was hilarious. Jimmy Butler kind of having a stinker. Only 13 points in this one. He's still within a point here, though. Plenty of time to go, but Russell Westbrook might just be on a different level right now. Zubac's going to inbound it to Russ. Just bully him again. Kyle Lowry, you got to use that low center of gravity if you know. You know. Russ for 3, and he's going to miss. I don't know why Russ pulled that 3. Jimmy Butler going to grab the board, pass it to Tyler Hero. Hero defended by Paul George. Hero going to swing it to Caleb Martin, over to Jimmy Butler. Butler attacking the rim, and Zubac, oh my goodness, looking like prime Hakeem Olajuwon on the block. What is going on? Martin, he's going to give it into Bam Adebayo over to Lowry. Tough mid-range shot, and he's going to miss it. Paul George grabs the rebound. Terrence Mann looks pretty open, but George sees Russ, and Russ the standing dunk. Russell Westbrook a nice cut, and he's cooking in crunch time. Did he just rock the baby again? Bro, Russ, he thinks it's Fortnite hitting all these emotes. Jimmy Butler defended by Paul George. Butler, we haven't seen any crazy clutch moments from him, and Bam Adebayo just smoked a layup. Ivica Zubac might just be the greatest big man of all time. Russ down to Kawhi. Kawhi over Martin. He's going to miss it, and Martin snags the rebound. Heat still within 3 here. Less than a minute to go. Lowry going to swing it to Butler. Butler working on Paul George, trying to make a play here to keep his Heat in the game. He's going to get the screen from Adebayo. Adebayo on the roll. Beautiful roll there. And Zubac couldn't come up with another big block. Heat are within a point. Russell Westbrook bringing up the ball. We've seen him taking over here in clutch time. Does he have another play in a mid-range J for Russ? And he misses. Caleb Martin with the rebound. Less than 30 seconds to go. Heat only down by a point. Tyler Hero has it, defended by Mann. Over to Jimmy Butler. Butler working on Paul George. I see Lowry curling, and Lowry's going to get a little bit of room and pop the 3, and he hits it. Kyle Lowry in clutch time. Going to hit the 3. Big shot from Lowry. Wow. Wow. This has been a crazy back and forth between the Clippers and the Heat. Still 14 seconds to go, and the Clippers have the ball. They're going to give it in to Russell Westbrook. Will Russ go for 3 or will he go for a 2? I'd assume he's taking the last shot here. He's defended by Lowry. Going to get the screen from Zubac. Russ for 3! And he misses it. I think Russ probably should have attacked the rim there. Maybe look to get a shooter open. But now with only 0.3 seconds to go, it looks like it's probably too little too late. The Clippers haven't even fouled yet, so this one's over with. I'm just going to go ahead and get out of here. Heat will take game number 2. Kyle Lowry, big 3, 28 points, 7 and 7. Tyler Hero, 22. Kevin Love, 19 and 10. Heat might want a little bit more from Jimmy in these games. Norman Powell, masterclass for the Clippers, but it wasn't enough. Russ was solid down the stretch, but really that final 3 sold the Clippers. They weren't able to get the dub. And the Clippers, they need more from Kawhi, only 10 points in this one. Riding their momentum off of the Game 2 win, the Heat came right back in Game 3 and got another dub despite a 40-point triple-double from Russell Westbrook. Kawhi stepped up a little more from the Clippers, but they didn't get any crazy contributions from their role players. And the Heat, they got 17 from Duncan Robinson. They got some buckets from Josh Richardson. They had some guys step up for them. They end up winning by 6, and now they're up 2-1 in the series. Let's see if the Clippers can tie it up in Game 4. Clippers will win Game 4. Paul George with 34 points. Russell Westbrook with 32, 6, and 14. And Kawhi with 26. Yeah, they were just clicking on all cylinders. I mean, the Heat, they got 35 from Tyler Hero, 32 from K Love. But the Clippers were just hooping in Game 4. Now we're heading into a pivotal Game 5 with the series all tied up. While all the other games of this series have been fairly close, Game 5 was not close at all. The Heat blew out the Clippers, a 30-point dub, as Kevin Love had a monster game, 30 and 13. They got 23 from Lowry, 22 from Jimmy, 15 from Hero, and the Clippers, Russell Westbrook kind of struggled with his efficiency in this one. Kawhi struggled with his efficiency, and that led to a blowout win for the Heat. Miami is up 3-2 in the series, 1 game away from an NBA championship. Let's see if the Clippers can force Game 7. We've got our third hop-in game of the series. Clippers up by 2 points here, a little over a minute to go, and they have the ball. Russell Westbrook working on Kyle Lowry, trying to make his way into the post. Russ, oh my goodness, just a crafty finish there from Westbrook. And the Clippers up by 4 points here. Russ has done some crazy stuff in these hop-in games. Jimmy Butler working on Kawhi, gonna pass it to Lowry. Lowry, the mid-range is good. Kyle Lowry, another big bucket for the Miami Heat. Keep them within 2 points here, answering Russell Westbrook's layup. But Russ could come right back and score. We've seen him do it time and time again in these games. Russell Westbrook, I saw an open Norman Powell. I thought the Clippers might swing it. He's going to get the screen from Batum, and Russ is going to miss the 3. Yeah, I don't know why Russ is going for so many 3s here. And Jimmy Butler going to pull the mid-range in transition and hit it. Game is tied up. One of the first clutch plays we've seen from Jimmy, surprisingly, in these games. Under 30 seconds to go, Russell Westbrook has the ball, defended by Kyle Lowry. Russ, the wide open paint for him to operate in, and he took advantage. Of course he did. He's Russell Westbrook. He's going to dunk it home, and the Clippers are up by 2 points here. Less than 24 seconds to go. They're on the brink of forcing a Game 7. LA needs a stop here. Heat are going to go to Jimmy Butler, defended by Kawhi Leonard, one of the best defenders in the NBA. Butler going to swing it to Love. Love defended by Batum. Kevin Love going to pass it to Lowry. Back to Jimmy Butler. Butler clamped by Kawhi Leonard. He's having a tough time. Ball's going to go to Tyler Hero in the mid-range, and he misses it. Kawhi Leonard snags the rebound, and the Heat are slow to foul. Kawhi going to the line for 2 shots. First one is good for Leonard. If he hits the second one, game is out of reach for the Miami Heat. This one is over with. We are going to go to a Game 7 here. What a fun series. Oh my goodness, he almost made that. But I mean, it wouldn't have mattered, but that still would have been crazy. What a fun series this has been so far. And it's all coming down to a winner go home Game 7. Russell Westbrook had 25, 13, and 8 in this one. Not the best shooting efficiency, but he had that big dunk in clutch time, and he had the layup. Paul George with 25 points, very efficient. Norman Powell adds in 20. Kawhi Leonard with 17. Kyle Lowry drops 30 in this one. He's been great, but it wasn't enough for the Miami Heat. And we're going to a Game 7 in what has been a super fun series. In Game 7, the Miami Heat get a big win, 16-point dub. Kyle Lowry, 29 and 15. He was ridiculous in this simulation. Kevin Love, also a big game. I mean, you're talking about the MVP of the league. Bam with 21 and 11. Tyler Hero with 18. Jimmy with 16. And the Heat are going to win the championship despite Russell Westbrook's best efforts. What a fun series and what a fun video. Kevin Love's going to take home the finals MVP. I had a ton of fun making this video for y'all. If you enjoyed it, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. Hope y'all go on to have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.